Hi, I am Sunita. My part is to introduce the servant leadership theory. The servant leadership concept has been around for a long time, but the phrase servant leadership was coined by Robert K. Greenleaf in 1970. According to him, servant leaders are those who put other people's needs, aspirations, and interests above their own. The servant leader puts followers first, empowers them, and helps them develop their full potential capacities. There are 10 characteristics that includes listening, empathy, healing, etc. are of very critical importance. That is central to the development of servant leaders. In addition, servant leadership presents a model that has three main components. The central focus of the model is the seven behaviors of leaders that foster servant leadership, like conceptualizing, emotional healing, putting followers first, etc. The major strength of this theory is altruism, and the weakness is that it does appear like a paradox and confusing. And last but not the least, it aligns with our technology driven era where individuals are empowered to connect with influential people and organizations in a way that was impossible in the past. Thank you.
When first introduced by Richard Greenleaf in 1970, servant leadership was regarded more as a leadership approach than a theory. In more recent years, leadership researchers have developed several different models that encompass a wide range of attributes and characteristics that serve to define servant leadership as more of a theoretical framework. While models vary widely, the underlying basis of understanding servant leadership focuses on a serve first mentality and leaders with an ethical and spiritual nature. The model that is shown is a compiled servant leadership framework that seeks to define the vast complexities of servant leadership. The three components and their attributes are not meant to be an all encompassing list. Though a relatively new theory, servant leadership has been widely utilized in organizational leadership development and training. The consensus is that leaders who follow a servant leader framework have higher integrity and ethical beliefs that provide positive benefits to organizational outcomes and follower growth. This belief has been demonstrated in the literature as well. In 2018, researchers at Walden University presented a study that demonstrates how the ethical and spiritual behaviors that are often found in servant leaders can lead to less corporate scandals, such as the Enron scandal in 2001.
Hello, my name is Eric Keith, and I will be discussing the criticisms that are associated with servant leadership. I'll begin by discussing how an employee's motivation can be lowered by having a manager who is always there to step in and correct their mistakes on a regular basis. Next, in addition, a servant leader can inadvertently decrease their managerial authority by placing too much emphasis on the employee's emotional needs as opposed to the employee's work-related needs. Next, this style of leadership is not easily accepted by individuals who are not as receptive to it. Lastly, during times of internal organizational changes, this style of leadership can be difficult to incorporate because during times of organizational change that are going on internally, it is more beneficial to attend to the employees' work-related needs as opposed to their emotional needs.
Hello, my name is Faith Alexander. I will be discussing new approaches to servant leadership theory. There has been research on servant leaders and how they are beneficial in organizations with top management that are dominant. For example, the upper echelon theory, it helps break down the values and attributes of top management in organizations that are dominant. A servant leader can bring many different characteristics and attributes to an organization of this type. They can improve organizational performance, improve organizational culture, and increase employee attributes. According to Hiller and Martin, there are up to 44 characteristics of servant leadership identified by researchers compared to the original 10. These new characteristics include humility, authenticity, and empowering and developing people.